This is very extreme, you know. Exactly. The word is extreme. It's an egoistic form of extremism.
It depends on. Hi guys, welcome to Production with Jolie on Jolie TV. It's your girl Jolie. How are you guys doing? Today on my production, I have two guests. Ijoma, how are you doing?
I'm Julie, and thank you for inviting me to speak on this topic.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure having you for the first time. I'm so excited to have you on today's production. And as you know, how are you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. Thanks for inviting me. It's good being here always.
You're welcome. So today we are going to discuss on a very, important topic. First I'm going to ask both of you, what will you say is someone who is a narcissist? Sisters.
Okay, for me.
Okay, yeah. I'm hearing you.
For me, a narcissist is someone that sees himself as a very important person.
Okay.
That he's always right. He puts himself first before anybody. Okay. He's superior to everybody, and anybody that doesn't agree with him, it's not in his group of friends, or is not in his mental state of reasoning, are below him. That's my own, I believe, is my own definition of
a narcissist.
Who is a narcissist? Mm-hmm.
Okay, and sisters. So, if in your own words, when can you say somebody is a narcissist?
Okay, yeah. For someone to be regarded as a narcissist,
Yeah.
First is actually defined. The way it's defined is defined as somebody who has. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but that's what the truth is. It's not based on my own definition, but it's
just say it as it is. Say it as it is.
It's not based on my own definition, but it's based on the statistics panel of. Well, it's regarded as a one form of mental instability. If you look at it,
Yeah.
Because somebody who has a gradual sense of self-importance, preoccupation with fantasies, unlimited sex, power, brilliance, beauty, and then takes himself as more superior than other people. I mean, so it's not normal if you want to look at it. So it's something that has to be checked upon when somebody regards himself as very much more important than the other people, and then other people feel very much inferior to himself. So, yeah, that's the reality. That's what it is, It's not my own definition, but it's according to the definition I see,
Yeah. So, in other words, we can say that a narcissist is someone who the world revolves around the person. It could be a man, it could be a woman. You understand? Like I noticed Ijoma used the word he. So Ijoma, are you gonna say that behavior or disorder, is it mostly found in male or female?
Yes, it's mostly found in male.
Okay.
From my Google search, anyways, that majority of a narcissist usually applies more on the male gender than the female gender.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So now, how do you identify, such characters in a person? How do you identify it?
Well, for one, there's this. Many of them, they lack empathy, and they don't have feelings. They don't care about other people's feelings.
Yeah.
Then they always need excessive attention. They always try to draw attention and admiration to themselves, as in making themselves important. That without them, things are not going to. They believe that they have more powers than any human being, and they feel that they are special, they are unique, and they have to adore me and worship me. And basically, that's why I feel anybody that feels himself or sees himself that way, the person is a narcissist.
Okay, now.
And they're arrogant.
Yeah, they're arrogant. So now, would you say that, because if looking at those characters, like what you just said, would you say is a negative attribute to a person? Because I really don't think so, but what do you think?
Well, like they say, the narcissists are people that have mental disorder. So I believe many of this, according to research, I say many of this happens based on people that they were neglected during their childhood, or their parents were separated. So they try to make themselves become important so that whoever it is that abandoned them, or whatever it is they were going through,
Yeah.
it's so it's a mental disorder. And why is it a mental disorder? Anything like me, I feel anything that is a mental disorder is a negative part of life. That's why people go to therapy, to talk about it and to get better. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
that's my own thinking, that's my own belief and thinking. So
Yeah. Sisters, how extreme can a narcissist go? How extreme? What will you say? Okay, this is the height of it.
So it could be the extreme could be that somebody becomes mentally unstable, where he recognizes himself much more than every other person. You know, I don't know the degree in which it can be. It's only the people in the medical field that can actually ascertain how bad it can actually be. But when somebody becomes he regards himself above every other person, and every other person looks very much inferior, and then which is more like excessive admiration for person, and then the inability to also handle certain criticism too, and then sense of entitlement. You know, it could be to an extreme, but I don't know the gauge to put it that this is the level it could get if somebody becomes really very bad. Could be that somebody is not in touch with reality, you know, when he sees himself as a demigod. I think that's how bad it could be, you know.
Yeah. And I've also noticed that, you know, most of our so-called celebrities, you know, the role models, most of them are narcissists, you know. So, and it's actually have a very negative impact on even their followers. So now I want to, you know, ask another question. Since it's a medical disorder, can it be corrected? I know we are not expert here, we are not medical doctors, we are not, but do you think it can be medically corrected?
For me, I think yes, medically. By medically, if you mean by going to speak to a therapist,
Okay.
I think yes, because everything has to do with finding the roots of where the problem. Why did you become like this? When you were this age, what do you think about people finding out? Because sometimes many of them don't even recognize that is the way they are. Do you understand? Maybe somebody tells them, "Oh, you act like this," and they still don't even believe that is the way they act. And they now finally diagnose them with such disorder, and they go see a therapist. The therapist, the best way they can find a solution is talking. Where did it all start from? What happened? Then from there, they can know how to move forward. So I believe yes, it can be corrected, but first, whoever it is that is that kind of person needs to admit that this is the way I am, and I'm ready to find a solution to whatever it is that's up to me about it.
Yeah. And I just said on the early stage that it's mostly found in men, and if we look at it, it has a lot to do with ego, you know. So in any relationship where the man is the narcissist, do you think that relationship is going to last long? IK. Hello, sisters, can you hear me?
Well, yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. I mean, yeah, I mean, like you said, when somebody is impaired, because that is actually a disorder, and then there's impairment, meaning there's something incomplete in the person.
Yeah.
Where the person feels that he's much more superior than every person, and then looks on other people with as less humans, in relationship, I think this can actually affect relationship, except the other person is ready to burden herself for all through, because if it is finally found in men, the extent at which or how bad it could get for the woman, So I feel that for relationship wise, somebody has to bear the brunt, and then most often the other part bears the brunt of this person's disorder,
Yeah.
But lo and behold, I mean, it's been working because, well, some feel too. I mean, there's this what they call alpha male, when men is super domineering on women, are super domineering because they want to take charge. So somehow, somewhere, if you look at it critically, you would see too that there's an atom of that narcissism in a man when you look at it towards that direction, So I feel somehow, well, if some women may not be able to accommodate that, but some maybe overly submissive, let me use the word submissive, and then and then it works. It's possible,
Yeah. And again, I know most times they tend to play the victims. Have you noticed that they tend to play, when you tell them, oh, this your attitude is not good, the way you treat people is not good, because they don't know that it's a fault or is a disorder, they tend to play the victim. And if you are living with such people, it's actually very difficult because they have attitude, what I call attitudinal problem. They don't know how to accommodate others. They don't know how to accept that they are even wrong, and they take decisions without, trying to find out how other people feel, because at the same time, like Ijoma said, they lack empathy. So they wouldn't even know that what they are doing actually affects others. Now we have leaders too. Yeah, we have leaders who are narcissists. So what do you have to say? Because now it is on a more, a global way. It affects the economy, it affects the people they govern. So what will you say if a leader is found with such disorder?
Well, I don't know what to say, other than if he was elected in such a position, and if he was elected to be a leader in such position he is, and he hasn't identified this is where his problem is, he's going to keep thinking he's superior to other people. Do you understand? We can't really do anything about it, because if he's a leader that was elected into office, we can't really do much except he's taken out of office by. That's just it.
What do you think, sisters?
Oh, okay, if I may add, like Ijoma said, I think it's really to the extreme, where somebody who is a narcissist becomes the leader of a country. I mean, governing a lot of people. But come to think of it, I mean, there have been a lot of people. I mean, if you see those despotic and tyrannical kind of, exactly, all those tyrannical, despotic kind of governance, you will see that this is their characteristic, because they see other people as very much inferior. Because if you look at those words today, we have lots of them. We probably don't want to mention them, but they all exist,
Yeah.
So they all exist. If you look at countries where it's still governed that is non-democratic, we see countries that are still a fascist country, for example. I'm going to use the word communist country, for example, somehow. And then all these, those leaders have all the symptoms of a narcissistic, I mean, it's all good.
Yeah. Well, this is Jolie on Jolie TV.
Try to confront it.
Yes. Okay, guys, this is Jolie on Jolie TV. Don't forget, I have two guests, Ijoma and sisters, with me today. And on a final note, how do we manage? Because they're those people, they exist and they have come to stay. So how do we manage to live with such people?
I don't know. I don't know how to manage to live with them, or I'll just keep ignoring them. That's how I'll manage to live with them.
But they hate to be ignored. You know, they hate to be ignored.
As they are feeling, for me, as they are feeling superior to themselves, I'll just mind my business and just let it be.
But one thing I notice about those people, they hate to be ignored because they like the notice me kind of video. They have the notice me kind of
no, they are feeling. Yeah, they like notice me. Do you understand? So yes. I guess by ignoring, the more they get the attention, because that is what they are seeking. So the more they get that attention, it gives them superpowers.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel, because I already know this person has this narcissistic behavior. I'm not going to give you, I know what you need is attention. I'm not going to give you that attention. I'm going to ignore you. I'll just keep ignoring you. The more you're trying to make yourself
you know they can really push under your skin.
You're superior to it.
They can really, really push into your skin, you know, to get you to react.
That's it takes somebody with a lot of patience to live with people like them.
Exactly. Do
you understand? So it's just no matter how much it bites into your skin, it's also biting them as they are ignoring. So it takes two people. It takes both the superior, in quotes, human being that thinks he's superior, and the person that is at the other end of the receiving whatever. It takes that person, okay, as I know this is what he likes, I'm not going to give him what he likes. In as much as it's pinching me and I'm almost on the verge of giving him what he wants, but I'm not going to give him what he wants. It just takes somebody being patient with them and not giving them that attention they need. That is what I feel, that it will might make, the more they get the attention, the more they think they are superior to you. The more they get the attention, the more they think they have brains. The more they get the attention, the more they think they are untouchable. That's it. So the best way for me is just to don't notice them, keep them quiet, all those things. That is, I feel when they come to you and they try to belittle you or feel that you are nothing, they'll look for their next victim. They won't come to you anymore. That's what I feel anyways.
Okay. Well, what about you, sisters? What do you think?
Oh, okay. I mean, if it is to save the world from these people, like we've said ab initio, that this is, it's actually genetic or environmental cause, you know. Yeah. And then if you look at what Ijoma said and then look at the history, it may be the fact that they contracted this thing not knowing that the environment will have actually put this into them, or the genetics. So somehow, somewhere, it's actually not their fault. And then they grow up becoming such people. So for me, I think they also have to be pitied, you know. That's for me, because for such, if it's a disorder, they have to be pitied. I mean, and the best form of people you can, if they are, I don't know, if there are people who can actually help them, you know, help them grow out of this, that would have been the best. For me, if there are agencies, if there are whatever it is that you can actually approach and then let them know that this person, that these are the traits that you find in this particular person, and then they can approach the person and then help him all through. The person is ready to change, you know, because that's where we have churches, that's where we have communities, you know. If you live in a center-based community where the church can help, you know, help this person come out of this, because it's something that the person has lived without knowing. But it's just that he feels very comfortable in the environment where he lives, and then he's getting along with it. But the truth is that it is actually destroying him. Because if you look at the history, all the people who had such traits were destroyed they were self-destroyed, you know?
Yeah.
So for such, they have to be pitied in the society because they are not in tune with the normality of what is happening in society. So for me, whoever can help them, for example, or whatever it is that we can do to approve those who can help them, I think it is best we do. I mean, that's what I feel.
Yeah. Then I was also checking something online, and it was saying that in order to also be able to live with them, that you can learn what is and isn't negotiable.
Right.
So I also learn to tolerate their emotional outbursts.
Yeah,
and learn to also praise yourself, because as a partner, as you're living with that person, especially if you're a partner, because they're not giving you the praises that you need or you want to hear from them, it will sometimes to make your self-esteem go down. So learn, as you as a partner, learn to also try to build your own self-esteem by yourself. So
yeah, but it's quite,
and that's still down to me, it still means keeping quiet and just ignore it. That's what everything still boils down to me.
yeah, but for me, I think there's a limit someone can bear, you know. It's for in a relationship, it's even worse in a relationship. You know, if you have such a person, you can't always be quiet, because I know they penetrate so deep. They refuse to take no as an answer. So they're going to push you to the point that you can no longer take it. You understand? So yes, trying to ignore them is okay, but I'm just wondering how long can someone be able to, you know, cope with such characters, especially when they lack empathy. And you know, when somebody lacks empathy, that is even the worst. So they don't know when you are in pain. You understand?
To me, as a couple, that's when I'm just, as a couple, if you're having this kind of things as a couple, if your husband or your wife is a narcissist, as a couple, you guys will start doing therapy. If you guys try your own way at home to talk about it and it doesn't work, then you go see a therapist so that they'll be able to identify such. Because everything still goes down to it's a mental disorder that needs to be corrected. So it's only if, like, many of them don't even know they have it. So it's only when it's identified that they will now see themselves that, oh, okay, if I say this to this person, how will I feel if the person says it to me too?
Yeah.
As a couple, if they go and talk about it, oh, this is what you do that I don't like, this is what you do I don't like, okay, how can we compromise? Because like I said, whenever to live with them is having a negotiation, okay, what's going to work for us? This is going to work for us. This is what I like. And you'll find a common ground, compromise that's going to work for both of you as a partner. If you are living as a partner, if you are living as a brother or a sister or whatever, just finding a level that's going to work for both of them. So,
all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for, you know, your contribution. So on a final note, we're going to round up this tonight. On a final note, what would be your advice for people who are narcissists? Sisters.
Oh, well, like an advice for people who are living with such disorder. I mean, first, well, I feel that if they recognize that they are suffering from such disorder and they've been diagnosed, and then they should give into treatment, because so that they can be helped, because this is very not normal in living with such disorder in society, because it's actually self-destructive.
Yeah.
So they should learn to they should also learn to welcome other people, because what they should do is, well, based on the traits that they portray or what characteristics that they exude, for example, I think they should seek the opposite, which is a better, which is better than exactly what, because what the characteristic that they portray is very negative. So I think if they see the other part, for example, I think it will better their life. However, it's a gradual process. But what I would advise them is that it's a gradual process. I mean, nothing is instant. So they should give into treatment and then build it up. Because I feel that they are so out of the system, in the sense that they are so not confirmed based on what they exude. So they can get integrated more into the system by living the way other people live. And then, of course, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, for me, it's accepting them that this is the way they are first. Then then also for them to find support, basically.
Okay, yeah.
And they need to realize that they need help. That's just it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just that.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, sisters. Thank you so much, Ijoma, for making yourself available to be with me on my program today. I quite appreciate your presence. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right. So this is Julie on Julie TV. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that like button so that each time I upload a video, you'll be the first to be notified. From me to you, like I used to say in all my videos. Adios. Adios, Ijoma.